And we're told that little love, some little money will do, which of course in our local parlance we say odo kakra, sika kakra. But now it looks like it has taken a different dimension. Money over everything. And so on today's edition of Battle of the Sexes, we are putting the focus on the over monetization of love relationships. And we are asking you this morning, who should we blame, the men or the women? And so right now I am going to introduce my panelists for this discussion, and it's interesting to note that they started the debate right at the foyer of GH1 TV, and so it tells you that we have a very interesting discussion ahead. On my left side we have Nicholas Entry, who is a PR practitioner, and of course Richard Bentil is a student from the Ghana Institute of Journalism. Gentlemen, you're welcome. All right. And on my immediate right, I have Esinam Batali, who is a social media coordinator. You're welcome.
Thank you. And
last but not least, Elalina Nana Amwa is a procurement student at the Accra Technical University. You're welcome. All right, so we are kick-starting the debate right now, but we want to know exactly what you feel about our motion this morning. So straight away, let me start off with Esinam. Why do you think that the men should be blamed for the over-monetization of love relationships in recent times?
Okay, good morning, everybody. Good morning to our viewers. Now, to start off, let's set some basics. Men love to feed their egos. Men are egoistic. Now, money rules. In this our dispensation, whoever has the money rules. And because you need to keep ruling, to keep feeding your ego, you want to be providing. You want to be giving money to the ladies. Now, if you keep giving money to the ladies, who am I not to demand more? Demand more. If you start by giving me money for Brazilian hair, by giving me money for, I don't even demand it too. Sometimes they want to see you as a trophy. So they want to brand you correct for their friends. So to feed your ego, to feed their ego, they want to make you look great. Then they'll give you the money. Who am I not to collect more? So then they keep feeding us with money over a long period of time. Now, money has become a requirement for a good relationship, which shouldn't be. But money has become a requirement. So if you give me more, I'll take more, basically.
All right, let me go to Elalina.
Well, nothing really in this world, nothing really holds without money. You should have money for things to work. And then these men want us to fit everywhere we go with them. They want us to look good, like everywhere should look like very okay. So then they spend more, they put more into our outfit and everything. And then if you are giving me that, why not? I shouldn't follow you looking all raggy and all that. So yeah, money makes everything work.
Okay, and you think the men should be blamed? And you had the ladies, they actually think that you manage money or you massage money, your ego with money, I must say. And so that is the reason you keep paying, they are not demanding. What is your reaction, Nicholas?
Yeah, good morning to your viewers and to you, Ridwan, as well. I think we should track back a bit and try to understand where we came from and where we are now. My great-grandfather was a Northerner. He was enslaved in the Ashanti region. He got married to my great-great-grandmom, or my great-grandma. And he was a wrestler, I'm told. So based on that, based on his physiques, the ladies liked him. And he got married to an indigene of the Ashanti region. And so he took care of her 100%. We fast forward to my grandmom, who was a farmer, my granddad, who was a goldsmith. It was the same situation. And then my mom and dad. And dad was a driver, and my mom was a trader. I'm sure when they were dating, there was some level of partnership in their relationship, because, yes, I want to believe in their relationship. No, I'm saying that because when they were together, my dad wasn't the one always doing the payment. You understand? From time to time, I get my mom giving me something. I get my mom giving me something, and so she was contributing to whatever is being done at home. And if she's doing that as a married woman, I'm sure she did that when they were courting. And even just
Nicholas, you have 1 minute to make your point.
You do what you used to do. You don't change when you don't change if you've not done it before. That's the point I want to make. But even fast forward, very recently, you have married people or people who are in a relationship, and they invest in whatever they are doing. They do it together as a partnership. For me, the ladies are to blame in the situation we find ourselves, because ladies for a long time now have been liberated mentally. You've had a situation where you have a chunk of students in the various universities being ladies who have gone through the educational system. Of course, you can make the case that our educational system is not the best. But when you go through that system, when you go to the high school system, you go to the tertiary university system, you have some level of self-worth, some level of self-independence. You boost your confidence. So for me, it beats my mind to think that when these ladies come out of school, and I want to be very specific with the ladies that we are dealing with, the ladies who are graduates, the ladies in the corporate world, who I know still insist that the man they are dating is the one spending. And I think it's a big problem, because if we've all gone to the school, we are all being paid the same level. Why do you insist that I be the one to pay?
Okay, let me go to Richard.
I want to take fiction out of my argument today as much as possible. She spoke about ego, okay, and personally, I believe that when something happens over a long time, it becomes a kind of a habit. People adapt to it, and then they try to fit in by doing things to match that kind of thing. Now, if you say a man is giving money to you to make you look good, to feed his personal ego, I think it's a bit problematic, because, I mean, of course, you mentioned that we came from an age where it was gathering and hunting, and the strongest were doing it. So naturally, men have been programmed, okay, to be caretakers of women. So we've moved from that age, and we are in a different age. We have feminists fighting for women's rights and all of that. But still, women think that it is the man's responsibility to provide certain things in relationships, in marriages. Now, I have a friend, okay, I was dating her, and she said, I want a simple marriage, okay? She's in somewhere in New York. I want a very simple marriage. I don't want to have so many people. I don't want to spend much. And I was like, okay, so how would you like the wedding to be like? She said, oh, a simple one on an island. A very simple one on an island. I mean, and I was like, why don't we do it somewhere and rather invite more people to come and eat than go and spend the money on an island? So you see, the ladies act that way, and the men are forced to also live up to that expectation.
Okay.
Yes.
Esinam, you had the arguments, the
yes.
counter arguments. Do you have any rebuttal?
Yes, I do. All right, so as a lady, when you're born, when you're growing up in this patriarchal society that we have, your parent or your mother especially, or the society makes you think that live a life. Sometimes they even limit you. Don't go to school too much, else you can get a man to marry. Right? Live a life so that you can get a man to take care of you. So most women actually become lazy, because the focus is there's a man somewhere who is supposed to take care of you. Now, if you made me think that someone is supposed to take care of me, I've lived all my life. Society actually enforces the fact that women are supposed to like live for men, do everything so you can get a man to marry, do everything so that a man will take care of you. Now, if you have been programmed like that as a woman, growing up, most definitely you will be looking up to some man somewhere to give you the money. Now, who made this so? Who made this society so?
Exactly.
The society. Men trying to be domineering, men trying to dominate. They say it's a man's world. Men are trying to rule. Men wants to be superior. So to be superior, you need to have a subject. And what can make the subject is money. Money is used as bait right now. If a guy, typically, we are going to toast a girl, even on the road, first statement, I can take care of you. Meboa.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Oh, come on. That's the first statement they made. That's the first statement. I can take care of you. Nabiko, if you can take care of me,
That sounds
why am I taking care of myself?
Okay. Nicholas, what you wanted to react?
I don't agree. With the last bit about a man saying that I can take care of you, I think that's a very long time ago. That's probably the late,
they still use that.
90s.
They still do.
Okay, all right. Okay. And I'm insisting that ladies have been liberated. We don't have the situation where ladies were not schooling. We don't have the situation where ladies were not as enlightened as men. That was in the past.
But you would agree that ladies too, who are educated, who are enlightened, who are a threat to men.
Exactly.
No,
Men
but
don't really like women who have that kind of emancipation, that kind of liberation. They don't like it. They want those who keep. The word is submissive.
Okay. So are you making the point that you go to the stress that I went through in the high school and university, you do your thesis and everything, and then you just come and then you degrade yourself for a man? Is that
That's what they want us to do.
Okay.
They want us to submit. That is it. So that
lowering
you
your
don't
standard
have.
for a man to feel bossy. No, being submissive is a different thing altogether.
What is the definition of submission?
Being submissive is like working together.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Then we are on the.
So just in case you just tuned in, this is Battle of the Sexes. It's a debate we have every Friday, and today we are putting the focus on over monetization of love relationships. So on my right hand side, we have our ladies who are saying that the men are to blame for this very particular trend, and the men too are here saying that, you know what, the ladies, they make all sort of demands. In fact, every month they bring us budgets. Then the women are also saying that when you come and you are coming with your rap lines, you indicate that you can take care of us, and so you have made us who we are today. But it will be interesting to actually find out from the men, is it that you demand this budget that the women present all the time, or they bring them, out of their own volition?
Well, I for one would not demand for anything of the sort. But I want to believe that some men, and when we talk about the men, we have some of our ladies, our age mates, who go in for men who are older.
Exactly.
Who made quite a lot.
To sponsor us.
Right. So the point I'm making, those people might be calling for those things. But if you are talking about a man that you can live with, a man that you can get married to, a man that you are going to be in an actual relationship with, you don't expect that person to be doing that. It shouldn't be an autopilot situation. It must be a partnership, and then we go together. You get the point I'm making. So I don't know what exactly men are telling women now, but I doubt.
Oh, but you should know.
Partnership where you are meeting.
Elalina,
I doubt you have that
take
situation.
Okay. So here's it. Now, all men want to take charge of relationships. They want to be the breadwinner of every relationship. They'll tell you what to do, the orders, everything. So if you are giving me orders, where to go, where not to go, why don't you just finance? You might as well finance me so I stay home. Okay, I'm going out to work to look for money to take care of my son. I'm saying don't go here today. You have to finance me.
And that's what.
You see?
Okay, before you come in, listen, I think Richard wants to say something.
See, the ladies are saying something, and I just don't want to understand it.
I see.
So he's refusing to know. He knows it's true. He just can't believe it in his heart.
First of all, you said programming. Who does the programming?
Society.
Who is society?
Who is society? You and I.
I said today I'm
at
not
the
going to
beginning.
do fiction. I want to state practical examples that I have experienced.
Okay.
Just 2 days ago at the office, a lady was holding an iPhone, a Samsung, and some other phone, 3 phones, very, very powerful phones. So my colleague was like, "Hey, madam, your phones are nice." So then she said something. She said, So what is awaripa? Is it because your husband has bought you 3 phones, so it is awaripa? Therefore, if that lady goes into a relationship and the guy can't provide that, it is not awaripa.
That's what you started with.
But then again, it could be a gift.
Exactly.
It could be
I
a
don't
gift
mind
of a
it
kind
being
husband.
a gift or anything.
Anniversary.
A kind husband to his wife. Into Akwawarapa.
Exactly.
She has
You
a
see,
kind husband.
I'm talking about.
She has a loving
I'm
husband.
talking about the programming you were talking about. Okay.
Oh no, but that doesn't that doesn't confirm programming.
Okay.
It does.
Right.
It doesn't.
I think another issue that has also come up is the fact that sometimes the men see the women dressed in a certain way and already they perceive they are expensive.
Exactly.
And the women also see the men in a certain way and they perceive that they can give me a lot more. And so I need to provide a lot more. How do those scenarios play out in, of course, the sort of men and women you've been encountering? Let me go to Nicholas.
Right. So most of the time, the ladies I meet, I don't judge them by their appearance. I don't do that most of the time. But the point I'm making is that if you've gone through the same educational system we've all gone through, that ensures that we are all independent thinkers. We do things independently. So when you are in a relationship with someone, you need to partner the person and not insist that he be the one making payments. Then there's a big problem. Then to a large extent, you are even, insulting the certificate that you have. Because when you go through that system, you are trained to do, to a large extent, what I'm also doing. You gain a skill, just like I do. So why do you say that, okay, so that's the system? I've gone to school and all, but that's the system. Because I know corporate women, they are getting paid exactly the amount of money the guy is taking, but they still want you to be the one buying things, giving them gifts. And it's a big problem for me.
Right. Richard, have you ever found yourself in a situation where you see this woman and already you think that, you know, this chick will be so expensive, and so maybe I need to be on that foot in order to approach her?
Okay, so that was going to be my next point, actually. So the ladies put themselves in a certain situation, okay, to make them look this, okay. So when the men see them, they are trying to match up to that. So of course, they are going to spend on you. They are going to do things to impress you. You invite the same woman or lady who has placed herself up there for dinner or for lunch. She comes, eats, the bill comes, she's on her phone, like she ignores everything for the man to pay. So literally, if you've made it a man's world and you've programmed the men to act this way.
Okay, so the argument is that already the women look monetized, you know, per their appearances, they look too chaper. And so you put the men in a very difficult situation not to spend or overspend on you. Okay. How do you react to that?
Red. How you dress is how you are dressed.
Okay.
I love to look good. I would spend on myself to look good. Now, if you see me and you like how I look, it's really not my fault that I'm looking nice. One, let's establish that it's not my fault that I have spent on myself to look nice. Now, if a woman invests in herself to look good or to be at the top, and you're not really under pressure to match up. If not for your ego, will you try to match up? If you didn't want to be the boss, if you didn't want to be in charge, will you try to match up? Right. So because of that little innate animalistic thing in you, no, I'm using that in a very that innate thing of desire of being in charge pushes you to want to over her. Exactly. And that is when you decide to overspend on her, but that is a choice.
But have you had an instance where you had to present a list to a man that, you know what, I need a Brazilian hair, I need a phone, I need this, I need that? You haven't?
No.
Okay.
Charlie?
Well,
that still happen?
That's not
well. You see, that is what the men are saying.
I haven't made a list, but maybe by word of mouth.
You make demands.
Exactly.
I make a request, really. It's not a demand. You make a request and you're like, okay, my phone broke.
My phone broke.
Can you help me?
Okay.
Because the phone I talk to you like every time on the phone.
So the guy should pay for the phone.
No, don't pay. It's not like pay for it. Help me get a new one.
For communication, not for the phone.
How are you going to pay for communication?
Help me get a new one.
Okay. All right. I think
one.
Nicholas wants to say something.
You mentioned that before you meet the lady, she's already well branded. And of course, she did that investment, we want to believe.
Herself.
Great. So if you are the one in charge of that before I met you, why should I take up that responsibility?
It's a choice. You decide. You decide.
Let's allow him finish.
Great. So I'm asking, why should I take that responsibility? Why should everything be overflown onto me or just pushed onto me? Because you can take care of yourself. So why should that be the focus? And I'm making the case that if a man comes in and okay, he sees this, so he wants to match up. You as a lady, what prevents you from letting me understand that I can take care of myself? Let's have an actual relationship. let's not have a business agreement. Because you were doing that before I came in.
Right.
And I'm sure you continue doing that when I leave. So why should you shift it on to me?
Okay. Richard, we also understand that there are men who don't like Debbie. They go out seeking Abinwaha women.
Yes.
You know, and so when they get these Abinwaha women, they don't want to create the impression that I'm on a gold digging mission, and so they want to spend a lot more. What do you make of that as well?
Okay, so personally, I think it's a problem of the women again here.
Really?
Yes, because when a man goes after a woman, okay, just as he was saying, the woman is already doing things for herself. And once the man comes in, they try to push that thing on the man to do, okay? So guys over a period of time have also come to realize that, oh, these women, we talk about the feminists, of course, pepper them and all of that. These women are also out there acting all like men, okay? And to the extent that some of them can boldly come to you and be like, yo, I want us to be in a relationship.
But
Okay.
there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I'm not saying there's something wrong with that, but I'm saying in connection to men going after Abinwaha ladies. Now, men are, quote and unquote, sick and tired of being exploited by ladies. So they want someone
Who is equally yoked.
Exactly.
Okay.
So when they meet, at least they are all on a certain level. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But
Listen up.
if you say a man is looking for an Abinwaha woman, the man, we have established here that the man is going in on a gold digging mission.
Exactly.
Do you get it? The man is not going in for a relationship. He is purposely going in on a gold digging mission. It means that he's going to collect money.
That's your interpretation.
But that's what he said.
No, I said that in order not to give the impression that he's going on a gold digging mission, sometimes they try to overspend on you, the woman, just to give you the impression that I'm also coming with my wealth.
Exactly my point. What I've been saying all this while, it's a choice. It's a choice that men to make to.
But is it not a choice for the women to also reject if the gifts are coming too many?
If you are giving me a gift,
No, we don't
that is
reject.
different from if I'm demanding money from you.
Women don't
Okay.
reject.
And over monetization doesn't come from gifts.
Okay.
It comes from me demanding from you. But if you are giving me a gift, hey,
Why not?
God has given us free gifts of nature. What am I to reject your gifts?
Okay. Ella, you have anything to buttress what
Exactly, as she's saying. Now, most men, I know a guy who is working good, he has everything, and then we had a conversation. He was saying he wants a lady who already has everything. She has everything, like well built. So I asked why. He was like, now he can't finance the relationship. He needs them to meet her. I didn't understand why. You want to take charge of the relationship. You want to be the man of the relationship. So why don't you follow the unwritten rule that men provide everything? But you want someone who is well-to-do. So when you are going out there, you carry, everyone knows she has a 4x4, she has this and that. So why don't you now, looking at the relationship where the man has to sponsor, why don't you sponsor the lady with the car and everything so she looks wealthy? So yeah.
Nicholas.
I doubt I'm sure most men or most Ghanaian men do not really have a problem having to protect the lady that they are dating or having to spend.
Where protect
But-
is.
Well, when it comes to protect everything, physically, financially,
Okay.
whatever.
Okay, so
but
that's
it only becomes an issue when it's being done over.
Okay.
I'm sure that's why we have this
Yes,
discussion
over
here.
monetization.
And so the point is very clear. If I am giving, and before I came in for you, you've built yourself to some level. So if I'm giving, what happened to your sense of integrity or your sense of questioning that, okay, I can take care of this. I can take care of this. Let's build a relationship. Let's not have a business agreement. Because if you continue with that,
I don't think it's a business agreement if you are giving me.
You see-
If you are giving me a gift, I don't think it becomes a business agreement when I
On both
ask
sides.
you for things
Right.
and
Then
you
you are
give
giving.
me. But if you come and meet me, I'm sure being financially independent as I am, I won't demand. So the moment you start giving me, it's not a business agreement.
Okay.
But when I ask you and you give me, that is when it's a business agreement.
But just this question: would you accept a gift from anyone at all?
We are. It's whoever I am with.
Exactly.
So no, I mean, you said you are accepting. It's a free gift. So if a stranger comes and says, okay, let me
we are talking in the context. We are talking in the context of relationship. So
But
we are not talking about just anybody at all.
you
What
are
came
making
to
the
me.
gift that is being given to you.
By
so
who
you should
am
accept
I?
it.
Okay.
By
This is
my
someone you
boyfriend.
love.
By
This is someone you
my.
love.
All right,
And
guys.
if he's giving
just accept
Right,
it.
let me find out from.
He's
Let
giving
me
me
find
because
out
he loves
from.
me, right?
All right, let me find out from both sides, starting with the women. At what point are you able to establish that this relationship is getting over monetized? At what point do you realize that?
I think that the point where a woman or myself will realize that it's over monetized is when, based on your money, you're trying to control me.
Exactly.
At the point where you say, don't go here.
So if he's overspending and he's not controlling you, it's not over monetized.
Don't go here because I won't give you money. Don't go here, or else I'll take the phone I bought from you. Don't do this. At that point, like not even there. I think it's a build up. Sometimes you get stuffed, you get suffocated. Even when you're collecting the gifts, I mean, Oliver Twist, you always want more, but you at a point you just breathe and you're like, no, this is too much. I don't think I can bear it. But over monetization never killed anybody.
Exactly.
Never killed anybody.
Let me pick your thoughts, Ella.
Well, I think at the point where everything is over monetized is when you have to now take care of my family. My mother is sick. I'll have to ask you for bills. No, it is me. We are in a relationship, so everything should be.
Is that
me.
very common lately?
Yes, lately it's been common. Like my mom is sick. I need money to take care of her. My sister. No, it's just you and I. So we should just.
We are not married yet for you to even extend to my family.
Richard, at what point do you feel that money has overshadowed the love?
Okay, so starting with the gifts, okay, men naturally want to make ladies feel special. So they'll give.
That's the point.
So they are going to give you gifts.
I think he has considered.
Yeah.
And I have met women who will be like, yo, let's use this money for something else. Stop doing this. Okay. So at the point where it becomes a demand, indirect demand, that every week or every month I'm supposed to do this, do that, it becomes a demand, indirect demand, then I feel it's becoming over monetized.
Okay, Nicholas.
Well, a typical example in my office, you have two national service personnel, one in my office and the other in the sister company. And it's become a norm. Nowadays, every lunch you see the guy, they sometimes go together, other times the guy goes alone, but he always comes with 2 packs.
So how
for
do
me,
you know the lady didn't also?
No, I know.
Okay,
I
let
know,
you
I know,
finish.
That the lady even
I
didn't
know,
buy
I
for
know,
both.
I know they have something. I think they knew each other from the university before they came to the office. So what the guy is doing, when I just look at him from afar, I feel that no, because it's consistently him. He's in my office. So I know the money is coming from his pocket. He doesn't go.
But they had a relationship
So
way
the
back in school.
moment you
can't be
become
sure.
the one always ensuring that is done, then there's a big problem.
Okay, we are wrapping up. In a bit, we'll know who our best debater is this morning, and of course, who our best pair are this morning. But we'll read your comments on Facebook in a bit. A lot of you have been commenting, sharing your own perspective and all of that. But ladies, let me take your final word. In as much as we've debated, whipped the topic and all of that, what should be the way forward?
The way forward is that being together is a partnership. Being together is a union. We need to first of all start telling our women or start grooming them to know that you are growing up alone. It is your life. You need to start making. You need to start making it as by yourself. Take care of yourself first. For even if someone comes into your life and wants to share in that experience, you would realize that I didn't say take over, but share in that experience. Then they can share. That way you have your independence. I believe that the true definition of women empowerment is financial independence, when you are able to call your own shots. So women should start working on themselves to be able to share in a relationship.
Okay, Ella.
As she said, just as we women will want to should also work on ourselves to help in the relationship. Men should also be well equipped in terms of monetary before entering a relationship. They should make sure I have this, because if you want to take charge and then be responsible for everything, you should have something. So something to hold on to, something to start, because nothing holds without money. So before you enter a relationship, you should know you have something.
So for you, the money is still important. The men will still have to provide.
Exactly.
Okay, Richard.
Okay, so basically, I'll say that the ladies have all the opportunity now, even more than the men. The probability of a lady getting a job together with a man is higher than men of late. So they should build themselves, as she said, and try to be independent. And it's not only being independent personally, also in a relationship. You understand? You can't be interdependent if you are not independent yourself. So they should be independent and then reciprocate it in the relationship as well. Yeah.
Okay. Nicholas, you have the final
I think
word.
one thing we've not really touched on is sometimes the source of funding that goes to the ladies. And I made the case earlier that our so-called big men, or the sugar daddies, they are the ones who mostly spoil the ladies before they are presented to us. Because if you meet a lady who's already well dressed, a very young man, you guys just came out.
It's still the men. It's still the men.
So
Nicholas, you are wrapping up. Nicholas, you are wrapping
I just
up.
want to make it clear that going forward, I mean, our big men should take it easy with sponsoring the ladies, so they are affordable for us.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Let me just read a few of your comments, else I'll be a dead man if I don't do that. And this one from Sujafan Jufan. It says it is a teamwork, but the man is the team lead of the team. He takes the responsibility of the team. And as for me, my wife is my responsibility with all her education and her career life. And this one from Yao Ben. It says the first thing a lady will be looking is your dressing if you approach her, and they have it in mind that if you can't take care of them or not based on your dressing. So that's what Yao Ben is saying. Kwabena Enoch says it is the women. Usually it is the women who ask for money for this and that, just so they can be at power with their friends or more nicer than their friends. So it becomes like a competition, you think. And this one from Martin Senanu, he says, women, for some of today's women, love is all about money. If you doubt me, pretend to be poor and see. You won't get any woman in Ghana. And finally, this one from Mark H's Young Pa, it says, Redwan, today when you approach a lady and you ask her out, first thing she will ask is, can you take care of me? And they are always in competition with their colleagues, hence they put money first before even going into the relationship. Ihado, that's how you conclude. So that's it for today's edition of Battle of the Sexes. So from our consultant, our best pair for this morning goes to Nicholas and Richard. A round of applause for them. And also, our overall best debater this morning goes to Esina. A round of applause for her. All right, so I have this VIP ticket from MTN. MTN stands in worship, so I'm giving each of you one. And you can go and enjoy with the likes of Yao Sap and, of course, Patrick Duncan from South Africa. That'll be it for the segment. But enjoy this one from Kwade. Anita Kuyakufo will be back to bring you News Extra.